legally, is there any legal justification for homosexuality?
I told you I'm a human rights defender. And I see Pastor Sempa has come here. When I agreed to come to this show, I spoke to you.
I'm sorry, it's just storming.
No, he cannot just storm in. So if he storms in, I storm out. Thanks for your time. I cannot go on with this debate
Before
anymore.
you go, do you recognize these things?
Pepe, I'm sorry, can you give me a minute?
Pepe, do you recognize some of these things here? These are some of the things they use. I want to give you evidence. You see,
Pastor, aren't you being too harsh to these people? Why for once can't you relax and then think about the pain they go through as society ostracizes them?
Njagala olabe ebintu bino biraba bino. Ebintu bino ze karoti ze bakozesa. Okiwulira? Bakozesa karoti zino ne befu oyo omuwala gw'olabye. Alowooza nti musajja. She thinks she's a man. But she does not have the equipment to be a man. So what do? To be able to try and penetrate the other person, they use carrots. Bakozesa carrot. Ochiraba? Bakozesa amatooke.
I think you're being a little vulgar.
No. Bakozesa mbogoya. Bakozesa bino bichukamba. Nze mbadde mulago. I am a counselor. For many years I counsel people like her. When I counsel them, I discovered that they have problems. Some of the problems is when you use something like this. So when you use something like this and you put it inside you, you rip your urinary tract areas. When they put it inside there behind, ngabolaba Chris Mubiru. Abana bayulika chetuva tukiita okuvuga olupanga.
But this is a disorder, right? If it's a disorder,
yes.
Do you feel you're handling it the right way?
Yes.
Or you're being too aggressive, too harsh on them?
No. You see, first of all, we have the good Bible that tells us, even the Quran tells us that this is an evil. Tuchimanyi nti ekintu kino kikyamu. Bible yakiyita kibi. Era netubuulira nti mu mulembe ogujja waliwo abagenda okuvaayo ng'ate beekubaki beepika ate nga beeteekamu ki amaanyi. Kati oyo omuwala omanyi ssente z'alina. Omuwala oyo alina ssente empya n'enkadde. Bw'ogenda ku Facebook ye bali mu kunywa emyenge, bali mu kulya, bali mu pate, tebakoowa. Nze kambabuulire ate ekira tuyira n'olugendo mu Luganda ewaffe nze ndi musajja Muganda nti ow'ebbango bw'otamuwemukira teweebikka. Kali bajja wano ne batandika okwambaza laba ayambadde obugoye obulungi. Owulidde? Ayambadde obugoye obulungi, ayambadde suuti naye si musajja mwana muwala. Ekibuzaabuza nti olaba ekyana, olaba omuwala omulungi. Naye ate kubanga Mukama yamutonda muwala ki? Mulungi mutunuulire. Kyana. Naye ate yeefuula omusajja.
His claim is he's biologically fated to be a woman.
What makes him...
I'm glad Pepe is back.
I'm glad she has got...
Can you shake hands before we proceed?
Of course. How are you, Pepe? Nsaba Mukama amaanyi go gayingira omwana wa fono.
Pastor, no.
Kamusabire ko lwaza yagala.
Pastor, let's maintain civility on the show. Let's maintain civility. Pastor Sempa argues that these are the instruments you use.
These are vegetables.
Yes.
Vino.
I eat this on my plate.
You eat them on your plate?
Yes.
You don't use them when you're having carnal knowledge?
Absolutely no, and Sempa should stop misinforming the public.
Kati onalimba. Me, I'm a counselor. I've counseled many of these. First of all, they start in secondary school.
Why don't you start with counseling other than being confrontational to this young man?
This one is an evangelist. This is a missionary of Sodom. Ono muminsani. Owulira ono muminsani yakulembera ekibondo kyabwe. Era gamba Uganda Africa Sodome Association ono yakikulembera. Bayina budget ya million ya namunya eza $. Amasuuti olowooza gano ga sente agajjamu wino.
Can you justify that? Just a second. Can you justify... Let me give him a chance to respond. Pepe.
Just translate what
Pepe,
stuff is saying.
You are paid heavily to promote homosexuality in Uganda. What's your reaction?
It is not true. He claims I have a lot of money, I'm wearing fancy clothes and all that stuff. I do not even earn the amount of money he thinks. I do not even earn $100 a month or even annually. I do not make the money that he thinks that we make. I'm talking
just a second,
talking about promotion of homosexuality, recruitment and all those things. They do not exist. It's just the pastors and his group, their propaganda. Just to stop debate like this.
Yes. Do you believe that there's been sexual abuse in this country propagated by yourselves as human rights promoters? This guy does human rights promoters.
Just ask the question again.
Do you believe that there's been sexual abuse, actually sodomy, unleashed towards kids, towards underage children, and towards the vulnerable?
Propagated by my work.
Yes.
There is no such thing.
What's your work? What's your work? What does your work entail?
It entails advocacy around sexual orientation and gender identity. And this includes making sure that people that people access health services, they access education, they access, like the so-called normal Ugandans. We advocate for every person to be treated the same. Not because I am a transgender person, you treat me differently. We're all Ugandans and we are protected.
Do you need counseling?
The Constitution. I do not need counseling.
Okay, Sebo, let me help you, sir.
I do not need counseling.
I'm glad she's talking about for everyone. It's a she. You see, this one is a banana.
Don't abuse someone's sex.
I know her.
This gentleman is a transgender.
She's a female. There are no two. It is either male or female. Let me first tell you, sodomy is about confusion. Now, I want to bring you to speed. This person is confused, and she's exporting her confusion. She's a woman, but she's thinking, excuse me, Phil, I've given you a chance. You see, a banana is different from a cucumber. A carrot is different from a banana. I want you to understand. You cannot equate. No, these are not equal. So for you to say we are advocating for everyone's right. When you are a sodomite, you are committing a crime. And a crime that makes you social, excuse me.
They have a right.
No. You have a social obligation. This is a truth. You have a social obligation when you commit a crime. If you knock someone, you commit a crime. So for you to come and say, we want to advocate for anyone's right, criminals and innocent people, they are not the same. Men and women are not the same.
Now, Pastor, so have you been affected by what they do?
Of course.
How?
I am at Makerere. These people have begun several organizations. First of all, the Americans and the Europeans are putting a lot of money in the Faculty of Law to train people like this one in how to come and speak. Now she's going to go back and ask for money. Again, I follow you ardently on your Facebook. I follow you ardently.
Thank you.
So I'm not uninformed. This one is part of Sexual Minorities Uganda. Part of their groups, when they get pregnant, they chase them away. I've been counseling about 5 girls who, because when the lesbians get pregnant, then they come and tell me what is going on. Their life is full of misery. Pate after pate. She can never have children.
You love what you do, don't you?
I absolutely love my work, yes.
Of course.
And you're protected by the Constitution.
Yes, I am protected by the Constitution.
Where's the constitutional provision that promotes homosexuality in this country?
I told you it's not homosexuality.
What is
I
it?
do human rights. Protect life.
You ask sodomy, she said human rights. We say sodomy, she said gay. We ask Ebisiyaga, she says sexual minorities. Confusion of the highest order. So what they do is they cover Bapa Kirechi. The baptismal name for that word is sodomy. But they are giving themselves a new name. Sexual minorities.
Human rights. You confuse
sodomy. You confuse
sexual.
You're a pastor.
Yes.
You're meant to heal these people.
Yes.
Not to confront them, aren't you?
No. Bible says open rebuke is better than secret love. This girl needs to be told she's a girl. This young girl needs to be told she's a woman, not a man. The longer you continue on addressing her as sa. Now otandika okulimbibwa ono mwana muwala. Era singa manyine n'abekika kye. What tribe are you, by the way? olaba tamanyi na ggwanga lye. What clan are you? Tachimanyi asirise. Do you have fathers and grandfathers?
Of course he does.
Tachimanyi tagana kiddamu kimuswaza. What is your tribal name?
What's
Yes, in the black people, we have ancestors and descendants. They're living today, provide grandchildren for our ancestors. This young woman is denying her members of the family a chance to have children. In Africa, that is so bad.
Pastor, if he's not come to your son or daughter, why don't you let them be?
No, you see, in Africa, we don't go with what I do is what I feel. I am because I am. In Africa, I am because we are. We are a community. We always ask, oyo mwana wani. Kadi mubuziza, oli mwana wani. Kimwemye okuddamu.
Pastor, you are recently convicted of blackmailing your fellow pastor.
Mubuziza, ono mwana wani. Kade ekyo sagana kyogerako. Olw'ensonga, lwaki onatuula bwa n'abeera ng'ayogera ebisiyaga ne batamukwata. Sente etambula wansi ne waggulu. Bayina Obama, bayina David Cameron, bayina abazungu bonna abebuli ono bamuwa ekirabo kyo Clinton. Awarded Clinton. Yes. Bali awo beegabire sente n'ebirawo by'otala onayina visa agenda America lwa bisiyaga. Sinti ayina kyakoze ekyamaanyi wabula kola ki kulya bisiyaga ono bamuwa. She's being given a medal. Minorities, what is minorities? Please, I want don't you see now we bakubuzaabuziza omutwe.
Some sort of sexual
minorities. Yes. Minorities, they are trying to say majorities and minorities. You cannot equate, okay, a carrot with a banana. And I want this young woman to explain to you.
Let's give him a chance.
What does she use for sex? What do they use for sex? What do you use? What do you use for sex? As a man,
stop insulting my food.
You see, Sempa. They don't even want to talk about it.
Okay, let's hear from him. Let's hear from Pepe. Pepe,
why don't you respect yourself?
No,
Pastor, can you become for now?
No.
Can you become? And let him respond.
Okay, I'll put these ones here. I'll put these ones here to see if she will answer.
Pepe, you hear the sense of rage that's coming in
that
from
that is Africa.
And several other Africans who believe that their culture is being eroded by your human rights advocacy.
It is not being eroded. I told you earlier, we are generally a tolerant society. And when I see people like Martin Sempa, so disrespectful, so outraged, so, you know, he's outraged. I am so disappointed that someone in Africa like this.
Pastor, hold on. Pastor, he gave you a chance to speak.
You see,
okay, go ahead.
So, to have people like this lead our society, mislead our society,
this is
really appalling.
Get over it.
You know, my family supports me.
This is not San Francisco.
This is Uganda. And let me tell you, Sempa, I am not going anywhere.
Have you looked at Chris Mubiru's footage?
I have seen the red pepper stuff, yes.
You've discussed it
How did you feel? How did you feel?
I know how you
I was outraged.
You were outraged.
You said, why
were you outraged?
Me?
Yes.
I choose not to go.
Can I pull up your Facebook?
Please do. Please
Let me pull up your
please
Facebook.
Please do, because you are lying to the entire country.
Let me bring it up.
You are lying to the entire country, Sempa.
I'm watching you discussing.
You might be so vocal.
Chris Mubiru came out,
you might be so vocal.
Up her Facebook. Julia Pepe Onzima.
And that's not my name. And those are not the things that I use to do that. I was outraged.
For this show was to discuss the pros and cons of this kind of advocacy. Today, rather recently, we had President Museveni saying that these people can't go on for as long as they do not recruit or promote. What do you make of the president?
You see, the president is being pressurized. Me, for 3 years, they have opened court cases against me. They have spoken evil against me. They have called me. We do not
have a court case against you.
They threaten death. I've received death threats. Americans want to bomb me. When you are alone, they harass you. So President Museveni has been harassed for 3 years. You remember when they had a wedding in Wandegea? What did he say? We will shoot, we will arrest them, we will shoot them. They began pampering him and campaigning him. 2-3 years later, when this bill came up, when they harassed, they said, go slow. All the NRM said, no, Mr. President.
But we have an existing legal framework in this country.
Wait. Now, he goes, you see a Mama Mbabas, he goes to Italy, okay? Rebecca Kadaga goes to Canada. When they come back, Rebecca said, no, we neither retreat, we no surrender. But the Mama Mbabas said, government will not support it. You see what is happening? They are pressurizing individuals. But you see, we have clans. We have 5,000 years of known history. In all my history, I have never heard in my clan, nze ndi wanchima. Ochiwulira? Tuyina amateeka agatuvuga. Tumala gagamba mu human rights. Mubuuziza jjajjawe yani. Tasobola muddamu kuba kimuswaza. Ochiwulira?
I'm not ashamed of where I come from.
You can't even answer it. Mubuuziza bino biki mwekozesa. Tasobola biddamu. Ochiwulira? Ali mu luzunguzungu. Nze kankubuulire muganda wange.
Do you have gadgets that you use during intercourse?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do your colleagues have gadgets they use during intercourse?
I don't know. That's their private life. I do not know.
The truth.
When you saw Chris Mubiru sodomizing, did you feel that's normal for a man to have intercourse with a fellow man?
I did not see Chris Mubiru sodomizing. I saw pictures in the red paper of allegations of him sodomizing a minor. And I told you earlier, I am totally against abuse of children.
We have videos, but they are rather gothic. I wouldn't show them on TV. They are horrible.
Of the person's sex. You see, I am against child molestation, any kind of exploitation.
What if there were two adults? What if there were two adults?
That is what they do in their privacy.
Okay.
That's okay. Is that okay?
For me, what happens between two adults behind their closed doors is none of my business.
So in your advocacy, what exactly do you do?
You've asked that like 3 times.
Yes. And I need to hear this again.
Can the pastor shut up while I say this?
Yes.
Because he's been interrupting and probably you did not get it.
He's quiet. Pastor is quiet. Pastor, will you be quiet?
I am
so
outraged.
What will you do? Rather, what do you do in your advocacy work?
I told you, we talk about the advocacy is on the rights of human beings regardless of their sexual orientation and gender identity. We have reports of people who have been molested within their own homes, by their own parents, by their own family members, because they are different. So those kinds of rights are the rights that we protect, that when you're in your home, you deserve that family affection and protection from your family. And the law also protects against defilement, against rape, against all these violations that are there. That is what we work towards, seeing that every person is equal in front.
How come society is not compassionate towards you?
Well, because there are people like Martin Sempa who keep preaching this, and you give them a lot of platform to keep promoting their agenda.
Here. I want to bring this issue. I'm surprised Julie does not get on her knees and repent to the whole public on behalf of their member, Chris Mubiru.
Is Mubiru part of you?
I do not know his orientation. I told you earlier.
You see, they are denying.
I don't know.
Have you conducted a census to know who belongs to you and who doesn't?
But are you repeating these questions for the benefit
of
the pastor or what?
Please, it is embarrassing.
Because I answered all these things a long time ago.
Let me answer. Let me tell you. You see what is happening? These people come here and they tell us that what they do is something that is normal. Okay? They try to equate heterosexuality with homosexuality as if it's vanilla and ice cream of chocolate. They are not. I want to tell you that using a gadget, which is why she's afraid. Most of you see, she says, you see, these are facts. They want to discuss it in words. But I want you to know, what is your level of education, by the way?
I'm not answering.
Okay, you see, she doesn't know. Let me tell you the concept of ontology and epistemology. Epistemology is the science of knowing about something. Ontology is the science of knowing something. When you discuss sodomy, in its ontological reality is the whatness. What is the substance? And when you advocate for something, you have to know what it is before you promote it. Now, people need to know ekisiyaga chechi, because abantu bafete bamanyi na chi bakozesa lupanka ekisiyaga chetwogerako ye musajja. Excuse me, let me finish. Ekisiyaga, no, you see, whenever I go there, she gets uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable. I am not uncomfortable.
This is why.
I invited Mr. Onzima.
For you, me, I'm a counselor. I know sheep. Let me come. I want to tell you what homosexuals do she doesn't want to talk about the privacy of their bedroom, where HIV spreads. You know that 70% of all homosexual men
even
have
heterosexuals
HIV. Listen. 70% of all the homosexual men in sub-Saharan Africa, research by the Lancet magazine 2 years ago shows that they have 60 to 70% HIV, and normal heterosexual men are about 7%. When you are homosexual, you have more chance of experiencing death from HIV than a normal person. Why? When you take a man, this is a man's genital, and you insert them into the intestine, okay, they put their genitals into the excretory system. This excretory system is not designed to receive. It is only for exit. Kino ekyenda bwe bakikulusanya ne kiyulika ne kitirika omusaayi ne kiryoka kitambuza obulwadde. That is for men. For women, what they do is they begin their sexual acts, because she does not have the equipment, they begin to use their lips. So the mouth is used to lick the other person. That's number one. It created orogonorrhea. Many lesbians have orogonorrheas, orosyphilis. Number two, because they don't have the equipment, they begin to use gadgets like bananas. They use carrots. They use bananas. They use cucumbers and other metallized ones, and they put them inside themselves. Because they are not normal. Bitandika okuyuza n'abaana zaabwe. Kati ono otandika okulaba. Batandika okumira n'empeke. But let me first finish. In Mulago today, I have been in Mulago for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, but he's a transgender for 6 years and he's not had any effect.
People like her being patched up. Baba tunge mabega. Baba tunga bunda. Baba salamu nabana.
I wish you
ono yayina amabere. Muliriza. No, they don't want to enter into the wino. Kankujireyo bwino. Bamire empeke. Kati ona amire empeke. Empeke ezo nezitandika omunyiganyiga. Owulira. Empeke ezirimu obusajja testosterone. Okiwulira. That is why you begin to see someone begins to change. Mwana muwala na yakyuka. Amabere bagasalako. Owulira. Ne bakatono bw'omukebera oyinza okusanga yayina amabere ne bagenda South Africa ne bagenda wane bagasalako. They cut off their breasts to look like. Then you see a girl who looks like, dressed like a man, and it confuses you. For Europeans, ekyo kye bakubira engalo. I want you to know
why do Europeans condone it and we condemn it in Africa?
Because you see, for us it is a human vice. For them they are calling it a human right. It's a human vice. For them it's a human right. They call it a human right defender. Yesterday, the European Union ambassador to African Union donated 1.8 million European euros for these ones. Every day Baba was saying finally I want to tell you, in Buganda, the first man and woman is called Nambi Nechintu. What did that?
Pastor, before you go there, you've made
Nambi and Chintu was a homosexual.
You've made several allegations.
That is why for Europeans, homosexuality.
Pepe, you have the platform. Pepe, you have the platform. Without being interrupted by Pastor, medically, does being gay have any adverse effects?
Every sexual contact, if you expose yourself, if you risk yourself, be it heterosexual or homosexual, there will definitely be a risk that you've exposed yourself to. It's not limited to homosexuals. That cuts across. He's been claiming, making claims and allegations about HIV/AIDS spreading. How it's mostly among homosexuals. It's not true.
It's a gay disease. Get over it.
It's not true, Sempa. You know that.
Pastor, relax. Pastor, relax.
It's not true.
Yes.
It's just, actually, it's your ignorance.
No,
it's limited. I'm not going to talk about
you
statistics.
You don't know.
I know.
When you don't have data,
I am not going to go
quiet.
back and forth.
But when we have data, let us talk.
Now, the final question. The final question. Pepe, how do you want society to perceive you?
As a human being, as a person who is part of this society.
But society has rejected you.
It has not rejected me. It is the propaganda of the likes of Sempa.
What is your clan?
My family loves me as I am.
What is your clan?
Actually, even right now,
what is your tribe?
Would your parents...
I choose not to tell you, Sempa.
Onzima, would your parents... No. Pastor, hold it, please. Pastor, rather, Pepe.
I cannot believe you put me on a show with a hooligan.
Pepe, would your parents attend a wedding where you are with a person of the same sex?
A person I love, a person who cares about me, yes.
How did your parents feel?
Let me tell you, Simon, as I am here, my family supports me. Supports me, so I am here.
Are they supporting a disorder?
I have a name.
What is the tribe?
I refuse to tell you.
Okay, Pastor, this anti-gay activism.
No, me, I'm not an anti-gay. Me, I'm anti-sodomy. Nagano kulimbibwa. Gay is being happy. Me, I'm gay. I'm happy. But this is the confusion. They say to be a sodomite is to be happy. No, me I'm anti-sodomy. And I'm
anti-sexual violence.
Which
is talking about. There, when it comes to violence, we're on the same page.
Why don't you fight for heteros as well?
What do you mean?
Heterosexuals.
What do you mean? Fight for heterosexuals?
What
do you mean fighting for heterosexuals?
For their rights. Yeah, for their rights.
They are I am a human rights defender. I'm not limited.
Sodomy defender.
You are an activist for LGBTI. Lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgender, and intersexuals.
Let me tell you something.
Where's the H?
Human rights. I told you earlier. I am a human rights activist. For this group, there are different people who work on different things. Like he does something different. You know? I do something different. You see? So, it's a human right for human beings to coexist with each other.
Do you have hope that someday society will get to appreciate you?
Absolutely. I'm very optimistic.
No, but
I'm very optimistic.
Finally, yes.
I'm very optimistic.
We are dealing with a girl who thinks she's a boy.
A gentleman.
That is number one.
Treat him as a gentleman.
Symptom number one of gender identity disorder. If you parents are there and you have a girl who thinks she's a boy, okay, that is a sickness. You need to guide them and bring them for counseling. Number two, I'll give you my phone number at the end, 0772-641028. Number two, she does not have a tribe. So there is a lack of pride in who she is. An African by nature realizes that we have a history. We began with Chintu and Nambi. By the grace of God, we have reached here. And we who are living at the bridge between the past and the future, we must bear children. Kati ono mwana tamanyi gwanga lye.
By choice.
No.
It's by choice that someone should have a child.
No. Exactly. No, let me tell you, kanchikubulire.
You cannot force people to have children.
No. Ezo mpisa zaffe ng'abaddugavu era kambabulire ntekamu okukamera wano mbabulire. Ffe ng'abaana b'abaddugavu abasajja bassaabasajja Kabaka ono simanyi gy'ava. Owulira singa waliyo amanyi omwana ono oba omukulu w'ekika twetaaga tumukuŋŋaanye era nkubira omulanga oyo Gaabunga akulembera ekika ky'emmamba. Twetaaga okuŋŋaana abaana bano ono mubiru kati ono tamanyi na Luganda oyo mubiru aswazizza ekika ky'emmamba nga bwe tugamba mu Luganda nti omulya mmamba abeera omu n'avumaganya ekika omulya kisiyaga abeera ogu n'avumaganya ki ekisiyaga. Kati Buganda eyina okuvayo eyogere ffenna kati ne bana abalabirira omwana ono mutuyambe kubanga karoti zino muziraba amatooke gano ge beesonseka bino bikyukamba bye beesonseka abazungu ne babakubira akagombe nti buli baakabi Clinton n'abawa award bannanga bana batugendako era namwe abakola bividiyo ba musicians mulekeraawo keko ani mbayita muveeyo mutwegatteko okulwanyisa Chameleone Bobby Wine.
The final one. Don't you think you need to interface so that?
No, I have to pray for this young woman as I read the scripture for her. My daughter, I want to read for you a scripture.
No, I should take charge of this.
No, I want to read for her.
He's not ready. He's not ready to listen to you. No. I'm afraid. Pastor, no. I'm afraid you're not going to do this. Because my guest is not comfortable. No. Well, on that note, we thank you very much. That's all we have for you. Good morning. The morning grace continues. All right, on that note, we wind up and that ends the show. The morning grace.